This is a Hot Pie Original.
You know, there are plenty of options, and I will, for full disclosure, say that we've reached out to this lady to get her on the show. I'm surprised she hasn't jumped at the chance, at least yet, but maybe she is. I don't know where she is on this. So there are a few options here. This has probably been done before. It's just we live in a time when you can see everything. You can see everything in the moment, and people are used to living everything out on video. So there are plenty of options for you here. And I think that it may be split right down the middle. Half of you may think this is the righteous thing to do, and half of you may think this is a full-on nut job. I can see arguments both ways. I really can. And she's well-spoken, so maybe that helps. But here are your options. Is this mom a safety crusader or a nut job? Was her undercover work righteous, or was her undercover work dangerous in some way? Did she successfully prove her point that schools don't pay attention to the kids, your kids, my kids? Or, that was her goal, by the way, or was she negligent? And the one thing that I think should jump out at all of you right away, no matter what your opinion of what this woman has done here in Texas, how she's gone about it, and whether or not her video and all the discussions about her video and her outing of herself is going to lead to something else, I don't know. But surely you arrive at the same place that I did immediately. Hey, lady, where's your kid? If you pretended to be your kid at school, interesting. Wait, where's your kid? Surely that part comes out. Surely that's the first thing that anybody that talks to her says. Yeah, I get it. But you replaced your kid at school. Where's your kid? Just a question. Surely you've noticed this. So you've got a lot of options there. And I've gone back and forth a little bit. I'll admit I've gone back and forth. Then again, I'll admit that I'm sensitive to public schools and public school teachers and principals because my experience has been so good. I know you pay for it. You pay for the schools yourself. You have every right to complain. You have skin in the game. I respect that. So I'm slightly defensive of the public school people because my experience has been very good. I can't think of too many criticisms that I really have. So I don't really know how much more you really want to do. I don't know how much more safety protocol we can really follow. So I don't know that I buy her basic premise, and that is our schools aren't safe enough. I don't know how to make them perfect. I don't think such a thing exists. And if your quest is to make schools like prisons, and I guess that's what some of you really want to do, then it'll take 2 hours to get your kid in class every day. I think this is impossible. So here we go. The real point of this is how she goes about it and what exactly she did. The summary is she posed as her own daughter, which is just, she posed as her own daughter, not in high school, in middle school. A Texas mother, I'm reading now, and this story is all over the place and it's blowing up. A Texas mother who said she posed as her daughter to sneak into middle school to expose security flaws. Casey Garcia. By the way, Casey has been arrested and she's received a fine. I don't know what happens with the fine, but the more that the fine is talked about, the more that she fights the fine or pushes back, the more attention this is going to get. And the more attention this gets, maybe many of you think that's a great thing. That's precisely what we need to do, Jeff. We need to expose school safety. I don't know that I agree with that. I don't know. I don't know how practical it is. Here we go. She posted a video to YouTube showing her entering Ann M. Garcia Enriquez Middle School and attending her daughter's classes, wearing a hoodie, a mask, and thick black glasses. Now, you're really going to want to watch this to fully appreciate how she goes about it. And I don't know if you watch it, if it makes you more sympathetic that she did this, the right thing. Remember what I said? Is this sort of a righteous action? Is it a dangerous action? Is she she's some great undercover reporter breaking a story that schools aren't safe and we needed to see it like this and she needed to get ticketed for the sake of safety, or is she a full-on nut job? And I might add to this that you can never underestimate the obsession with look at me. Is this lady a safety crusader or is she a wannabe TikToker? I can see you going either direction. She gets the hoodie on, she gets the mask on, and she goes to school. And she pretends to be her daughter, and she documents her day to prove the point, nobody paid attention to me, and this is not safe. I don't know how fair that is. It is a time of masks, you know. So she said she embarked on the social experiment to prove a point. We need better security at our school, she says. This is what I've tried to prove. I think I've proved that. Did she? I mean, did she? There have been one too many mass shootings, she added. Schools should have metal detectors and ban backpacks. Let me weigh in on this. I have kids. You don't have a backpack. What are we going to do? Can't have lockers. So what are we going to do without backpacks? Oh, you want to search every backpack. That's fine. You can drop your kid off at 7. You know what time class would start? About noon. Some of this is not practical. But I digress. The school, of course, now has been outed, her middle school, her kid's middle school, which is near El Paso, I think. So the school's responded. I don't know if you think they've responded the only way they can, and that is they sent out an email to parents. If you have kids in school, you know how this works. In the email to parents, the superintendent says there was a breach in security and all of our students are safe. In other words, the breach in security was the mom. An individual associated as a parent with the school was involved in the incident and posted a video regarding the situation. I want to reassure you, the superintendent says, that our security measures are being reviewed and evaluated, and not only at the school where the incident occurred, but all schools and facilities within the district. I mean, I think that's why the mom is saying, see, look what I've done. I've made us pay more attention. In that regard, I don't know that she's wrong. I think she did prove her point that she wanted people to pay attention. And they are paying attention. She then, of course, the police show up to give her a trespassing ticket. She recorded that too. So Father's Day is coming up. You're doing the gift boxes. Yep. So here's something that's certainly not a tie or a sweater or a pair of socks. Not a bad idea.
Well, I think it's great if you don't know what to get your dad. I mean, get him some hot sauce. That way he can prove how much of a man he is, right? And this hot sauce will go great, and your dad will love it. So I think it makes a great gift box. You can go to our website and find those there. It come in packs of 4. It's a great box you just give to your dad and say, listen, here, Dad, thanks for being my dad. And it's not that sock that's just going to go in a drawer. It's not that gift card that's going to go in a wallet, never be used again. It's actually something he can share with his friends. And so I think it's a great idea.
All right, order a box now. It's atxhotsauce.com, atxhotsauce.com. She recorded police approaching her at her house. She posted the video on YouTube. In it, she told police she was recording and repeatedly informed them she is not resisting arrest. She asked the officers, did you guys see the video? One says he is not. I posed as a 7th grader, she tells the officers, and it went viral. Okay, yeah, it went viral. I don't blame you for being slightly alarmed that this person, this fake kid, is walking around the school with a camera in her face. No, her phone in her face. That's an issue. I also would add, I think the school needs to get out in front of this. I think the school needs to respond. I think the school needs to do more than lay low and send out an email. They're in a tough spot. Exactly how should they respond? I think the answer is since she's going to do everything publicly, you have to sort of meet her at that place, right? Since she's going to out you publicly and make you look terrible, and maybe think this is the right thing to do. I think a school needs to go somewhere where a school normally doesn't go. I think they need to say, Mom, sit down. We're going to sit here together. We're going to get in front of TV and news cameras. We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about it. I think you have to meet her halfway because she's going to go rogue, and I think she's feeling it. I think she's excited about it, and you either think she's doing the right thing and should keep pushing this, or you think she's a nut job and should stop doing this. So here goes mom, 30 or 32-year-old mom. Again, where's your kid? She heads to school this day.
Okay, I'll record once I'm inside. I gotta get in. Okay, I'll talk to you guys once I'm inside. Do I look like a 7th grader? No? Cool. Awesome. Okay, I'm in. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Fine, and yourself?
Great.
Wow.
Mom is wearing a
Hello.
Spider-Man hoodie, by the
Morning.
way. Walking around school
Oh, I'm sorry. I did not see you behind me.
with a mask on.
Thank you. Oh my goodness.
There we go.
It's so hot. I'm actually really scared now.
Uh-huh. She
I'm
looks
really
young, I'll say that. Most of us
on
could
the
have pulled off.
campgrounds of a middle school. They're kind of like, am I going the right way?
Yeah.
Okay.
And just so you know, right here, this building is a library.
Okay.
This building is
Oh my goodness.
500.
I would have never found my way.
And this is the other 500.
Okay. Oh.
She wanders around the halls.
Okay, thank you so much. With all the music, that's what they told me. Thank you so much.
She sounds 12.
I have like 2 hours to make up.
Can I point out something right here that I was thinking about? So let's talk. First of all, school safety only comes up for all of us, sort of mass appeal. School safety only comes up, sadly, when there's a school shooting. And we do this whole thing for about, 5 to 7 days where you have a bunch of knuckleheads that don't have kids saying things like build a wall around the school, metal detectors, all the stuff that if you have kids, is impractical. Then you have this period that goes on for a couple of weeks where there's a legitimate freak out. And then we sort of end up back in this space. So she's doing this at a time when school safety it's not top of mind. So in that regard, you can say maybe she's doing great work here. She's also, though, doing it during a time when she can wear a mask. So I don't know how fair that is. But here's the thought. And I'm one of these parents that says, I don't know how far you can take this school safety thing. I think at some level it's impractical. I think there is a middle ground, and the old talk radio knuckleheads who want to arm everybody. What would happen if somebody outed her? Honestly, if you got your wish and the geometry teacher, the world history teacher, is armed instead of having a piece of chalk, what happened if said non-professional armed geometry teacher noticed that's not a kid that's supposed to be in this class and finds out, hey, that's a 30-year-old person under that hoodie? Do they blast away? Does the mom get blasted in the chest? Would that have proven a point too? I mean, just consider, I think she's now making us consider. If you want to say this was the right thing to do, I guess you could argue she's making us all consider exactly what could go wrong. You're right, Mom. You're right, talk radio fans. Something could go wrong. Yeah, what's practical, though? The geometry teacher with a gun, to me, is not practical. Thanks, but no thanks. The metal detectors does not seem practical. Thanks, but no thanks. The walls around the school, thanks, but no thanks. How far do you want to take it? She now, I don't know what she wants to do with this. Now, she's going to be a star, and she's going to start talking. She's going to start talking a lot. She's yet to say exactly what she wants to be done. She's just arguing today after getting arrested, hey, see, I proved my point. We're not paying attention to the kids. Not only are we not paying attention to them, although I don't think it's fair, you're walking around the halls with a hoodie on. I wouldn't have recognized you. You look like you're 12. She was 100 pounds. How fair is this? She didn't just walk in the door. She didn't park her Suburban and go walking in the front door. She has a Spider-Man hoodie, a backpack, a mask, and a forehead that has no wrinkles. And she looks like she's 12. So how fair is this? She was undercover. Yeah, some nut could probably sneak into a school. Probably. Be tough, but probably. Said nut job probably needs to be a very tiny person with a squeaky voice and a Spider-Man hoodie. But could it happen? Obviously, Mom, you've proven your point. So now what? The undercover mom, who looks like a 12-year-old, proved her point. She got inside the school. Okay, taxpayers, what would you like to do now? How do you want to fix this, taxpayers? Exactly what would you like to do to make sure that the lady who sneaks in with a bunch of kids getting off the bus, and we going to search them all? If we searched them all, we probably would have eventually discovered that that's not her daughter, that's her. Which, by the way, where is your kid? How does that conversation go down? Did you say, listen, what I want you to do today is I want you to stay home and watch Wheel of Fortune and Price is Right, and give me your hoodie and your backpack. I'm going to go and pretend to be you today. How righteous is that? It's conversation starting, that's for sure. I'm not going to argue that. It's interesting. I can't argue that either. I just think once you get past the shock value of what she's been able to pull off, I guess, and I don't think it's all that shocking, then we have to have a conversation. Okay, that's fine. You're worried about school safety. What do you want to do, taxpayer? What? What did she prove to you that you can now go spend some money or scream at some principal or some world history teacher? What is it you want to do? She's walking around acting as if she tricked everybody. There's nobody in their right mind that could tell who she was. So she cruises around.